Hello and welcome to an Ooma Office onboarding video. In this video we will go over how to change the user settings. We will detail on how the employees can go into the Ooma system and change their own extension settings. If you are the account admin, I recommend sending this video to your employees as a starting point for them. So this video begins with a launch point where the administrator has already created the extension for you. Once they do, with your email, you should receive an email similar to the one on the screen from our do-not-reply@ooma.com email. The title will be your extension, and then the extension number is ready for you. And then underneath here, we will have the phone number for our direct phone number for our extension, the extension number for our extension, as well as a Get Started Now option. Below, you will also see links to download the free mobile app, and you can select which app you want to download the mobile app on. This mobile app will link with your main business number. That way, if you want to call out or you're working remotely, you can use your cell phone to call out using your business phone settings. So you would first click on Get Started Now, and it would ask you to create a password first time you do. Since I've already created a password in the previous video, here it will ask me to log in. So to log in to the system, I will use the password I created, the extension number from the email, as well as the main phone number. So 1005 is my extension number, and the main phone number for me is here. If you have any issues with this, please ask your administrator to help you either reset the password or resend that welcome email. Once you've logged in as the user, you should see settings, and if you're the account admin, they will look very similar to the admin settings, but they will only go over your own extensions settings. So here, under Dashboard, we have the call logs for today's calls, the fax logs, if you have a fax, as well as the options here to send a fax from the dashboard. To send a fax, you simply put in the receiving fax number, and then you can upload a PDF from your computer that will be sent as a fax. Here under Directory, you will have the company directory of your company, as well as if you want to create your own personal directory, you can do so here. You can select Actions on the right-hand side, and you can create a personal contact. If instead you want to upload a list of contacts from Excel, you can do so by using the CSV template. So first you would download this personal CSV template. You would copy-paste the names, phone numbers that you want to import, and then once you have that file saved, you would then import it using this second option underneath. Voicemail is where you can go to view your voicemails. You'll have your voicemail history listed here. Call logs is a more expansive version of the call overview, the call logs in the overview section, where you can select the dates of when calls came in to narrow down your search. You can also search the numbers in the top left-hand corner if you want to find a number that called you. And finally, faxes, very similar to call logs. This will have the fax history for any faxes that came into your personal fax. Finally, the audio conference. So if you've been set up with an audio conference and you want to invite people to join you on an audio conference when people can call in, this would be the number for them to call into. And once they call in, they will need your bridge ID to connect to your conference line. So in this case, people would call into the 415-347-8372. The system, once they call in, would ask them, please enter the conference bridge ID, and then they would go ahead and enter in the number 22 to connect to everyone else in audio conference style. Next, we will go over the account settings. So here we start under settings and devices. Here we can see which phones or applications will ring when we receive a call. If we want, we can add an external line. So for example, a forwarding number for vacations or anything along those lines here. So if I want to add my cell number, I could add a number. And then here I could select require key press to accept call. This means that when a call is coming into my cell number and it's a business call, it will ask me to press 1 to accept the call. If you want to change what's shown on the caller ID for the incoming call to that forwarded line, you can select either a company phone number so that you know that it's coming from a company phone, or to have the original caller ID show up so that it looks like a normal call coming in. Under voicemail preferences, here you can go in and change how your voicemail sounds. So you have multiple options. First, if you ever call your extension number from any Ooma phone, it will ask you to record a greeting the first time you do. However, if you prefer not to record a greeting and instead to use a default greeting, you can do so here. You can also upload an audio file from your computer. It does have to be an .mp3 or .wav file. You can select to enter in a text-to-speech greeting, as we have here. And then finally, if you want to record a new greeting, you can also do that. You will need, however, a microphone set up to do that. Finally, here you could change the voicemail pin. Skipping default voicemail instructions for callers. The default voicemail instruction will simply let the person know to leave a message after the tone. So if you want to skip that, you can do so by checking this. If you want to receive voicemails to your email, you can select this feature here. And then finally, what do you want to have happen after the voicemail gets sent to your email? Some people want to only receive voicemails to email, in which case they would select delete message and they would not store voicemails on any other phones. You can start by saying keep messages new, so it would both send to the voicemail and have the voicemail be stored as a new voicemail in the phone. Or you can keep the message as heard, but send it to voicemail as well. If the voicemail is not sent to email, it will always be marked as new when it's left. That's why it becomes grayed out. Under call handling, you can select how the phones ring. It's set by default to ring all devices simultaneously, but if you want to forward it, then you can do so here as well as on the devices tab. You can select the ring duration here, so you can go all the way up to 3 minutes for ring duration. And then what do you want to have happen after the phone rings for this duration? Whether it goes to a voicemail or to another voicemail, you can select that. Finally, under caller ID, this is where you can select what the outgoing phone number for your calls will be. So it has to be an Ooma number, so it can be your direct number, right? Or we can have it be one of the other shared numbers. Finally, under account, you can go ahead and change your password from here. If you want to change the extension number or the direct number, the administrator has to be the one to do that, as that does affect your login, but you can change your email or password from here. Lastly, if you want to download the mobile app, so there is the option to do so in the email here, but we also have the downloads option here, support.ooma.com/office/downloads. I will put the link in the description of this video for you guys to be able to have quick access to it. And from here, you can scan the QR codes to get the mobile apps. If you have Ooma Pro, you can also have the desktop app, which lets you make calls using your computer. And finally, if you want a Chrome extension, we also have that available for you. All right, thank you very much for watching this video. And if you need to call Ooma support at any time, you can call us at 866-939-6662. Thank you.